What if I told you that your lungs could actually reverse years of damage and function like they did a decade ago, regardless of your current age? Right now, while you're struggling to catch your breath after simple activities, there are 5 specific exercises that have been scientifically proven to rejuvenate lung tissue, expand capacity, and restore breathing power that you thought was gone forever. These aren't the typical exercises your doctor mentioned. These are movements that pulmonologists use in rehabilitation programs to help people with severely damaged lungs breathe normally again. This isn't about managing decline or learning to live with less. This is about actively reversing damage and rebuilding your respiratory system from the inside out. The shocking truth is that your lungs have an extraordinary ability to heal and regenerate at any age, but only if you give them the specific stimulus they need. Most people over 50 are accepting breathlessness as normal aging when they could be doing 5 simple exercises that are transforming lung function for thousands of seniors who discovered this approach. In the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal each of these 5 proven exercises, show you exactly how to perform them, and explain the science behind why they work so powerfully to rejuvenate your respiratory system. These exercises have been tested in clinical trials, used successfully in pulmonary rehabilitation programs, and proven effective by research from major medical institutions. Your lungs are waiting to be rejuvenated, and these 5 exercises are the key. If you're over 50 and your breathing isn't what it used to be, you know the frustration of feeling limited by your own lungs. Maybe climbing stairs leaves you gasping. Perhaps you've stopped doing activities you love because you can't keep up anymore. You might feel exhausted by mid-afternoon because your body isn't getting enough oxygen. You've probably been told this is just aging, that lung capacity naturally declines, and there's nothing you can do except accept it. But here's what most doctors don't tell you. While lung tissue does change with age, the biggest factor in breathing decline isn't your lungs themselves, it's the weakness of your respiratory muscles. Your diaphragm, the primary breathing muscle, can lose up to 40% of its strength between age 50 and 70 if it's not properly exercised. Your intercostal muscles between your ribs become stiff and weak. These muscle changes are what make breathing feel so difficult, not irreversible lung damage. The remarkable news is that respiratory muscles respond to training just like any other muscle in your body. When you exercise them properly, they get stronger, and when they get stronger, your breathing transforms. Thousands of people have discovered that specific lung exercises can reverse years of decline. People who couldn't walk to their mailbox without stopping are now hiking. Seniors who struggled through daily activities are now playing with grandchildren energetically. This transformation isn't rare. It's what happens when you give your respiratory system the targeted exercise it needs to rebuild strength and capacity. The 5 exercises I'm about to share have been refined through years of clinical use with patients recovering from serious lung conditions, and they work just as powerfully for healthy people who want to maintain and improve their breathing. Let me explain what happens when you don't exercise your respiratory muscles and why these 5 exercises are so effective. Your breathing is controlled by the diaphragm and intercostal muscles working together to expand your chest cavity. When these muscles are strong, breathing is effortless and efficient. But most people over 50 have shifted to shallow chest breathing that barely uses the diaphragm. This shallow breathing pattern means your respiratory muscles never get challenged, so they weaken over time. When respiratory muscles weaken, several things happen. Your lungs can't fully expand even though the tissue is healthy. You can't exhale forcefully enough to clear mucus effectively. Your oxygen intake decreases because you're only using a portion of your lung capacity. Your body has to work harder to get the oxygen it needs, which leads to fatigue. The weakening creates a downward spiral where breathing gets harder, so you become less active, which makes your muscles even weaker, which makes breathing even more difficult. The consequences extend beyond just feeling winded. Weak respiratory muscles increase your risk of pneumonia because you can't cough effectively to clear infections. Reduced oxygen levels affect everything from your energy to your mental clarity to your heart health. Many seniors don't realize their constant fatigue and difficulty concentrating are actually caused by inadequate oxygen from weak breathing muscles. The good news is that when you strengthen these muscles with targeted exercises, the improvements can be dramatic and surprisingly fast. Now let me walk you through the 5 proven exercises that rejuvenate your lungs naturally. Each one targets specific aspects of respiratory function. Exercise number 1 is diaphragmatic breathing with resistance. Lie on your back with knees bent. Place a light book or your hands on your belly. Breathe in deeply through your nose, making your belly rise and push against the weight. Exhale slowly through pursed lips while gently pressing down on your belly to create resistance. The exhalation should take twice as long as the inhalation. Do this for 10 minutes twice daily. This exercise specifically strengthens your diaphragm and retrains your body to breathe from your belly instead of your chest, which is far more efficient and uses your full lung capacity. Within weeks, most people notice they're automatically breathing more deeply throughout the day. Exercise number 2 is the breath stacking technique. Sit up straight. Take a normal breath in, then without exhaling, take another small breath on top of it, then another, stacking 3 to 5 breaths until your lungs feel completely full beyond their normal capacity. Hold for 10 seconds, then exhale slowly and completely. Rest for 1 minute, then repeat 5 times. Do this twice daily. This exercise stretches your lung tissue and chest wall beyond their current comfortable range, which triggers adaptation and increased capacity. It also strengthens the muscles that expand your ribcage. Exercise number 3 is pursed lip breathing combined with arm raises. Stand with your arms at your sides. Breathe in through your nose for 2 counts while raising your arms out to the sides and up overhead. Breathe out through pursed lips for 4 counts while lowering your arms back down. The pursed lips create back pressure that keeps airways open longer. The arm movements engage your chest and shoulder muscles that assist breathing. Do 20 repetitions twice daily. This exercise improves oxygen exchange efficiency and strengthens accessory breathing muscles. Let me tell you about Michael, a 69-year-old man who had chronic obstructive pulmonary disease from years of smoking in his youth. He'd quit decades ago, but the damage was done. His doctor told him his lung function was permanently compromised and would only get worse. Michael could barely walk from his car to a store entrance without needing to stop and catch his breath. He was considering disability because he couldn't work anymore. Then he was referred to pulmonary rehabilitation where he learned these 5 exercises. Michael was skeptical that simple exercises could help when medications had barely made a difference, but he had nothing to lose. He committed to doing all 5 exercises twice daily. Within 3 weeks, he noticed he could walk a bit farther without stopping. Within 2 months, he was walking around his entire neighborhood. After 6 months of consistent practice, Michael's lung function tests showed a 28% improvement in capacity, something his doctor said he'd never seen in a patient with his condition. Michael returned to work part-time and now does activities he thought were impossible. He says these exercises gave him his life back. Exercise number 4 is the straw breathing technique. Get a regular drinking straw. Breathe in normally through your nose, then exhale slowly and completely through the straw, taking at least 10 seconds to empty your lungs. The narrow opening creates resistance that strengthens your expiratory muscles. Do this for 5 minutes twice daily. This exercise specifically targets the muscles used for forceful exhalation, which are crucial for coughing effectively and clearing mucus. It also teaches breath control and improves your ability to fully empty your lungs, making room for fresh oxygenated air. Exercise number 5 is the lateral chest expansion breathing. Wrap a towel or resistance band around your chest at the level of your lower ribs. Hold the ends with your hands, creating tension. Breathe in deeply, expanding your chest against the resistance of the band. Hold for 5 seconds, then exhale completely. The resistance forces your intercostal muscles to work harder. Do 15 repetitions twice daily. This exercise specifically strengthens the muscles between your ribs that expand your chest cavity, increasing your overall lung capacity and making breathing more efficient. Respiratory therapists and pulmonologists have used these exercises in clinical settings for decades with remarkable success. Research has documented that targeted respiratory muscle training can increase lung capacity by 20 to 30% and improve breathing muscle strength by up to 50% in just 8 to 12 weeks. Studies comparing people who do these exercises to those who don't show dramatic differences in lung function, exercise tolerance, and quality of life measures. Clinical trials have proven that even people with severe lung disease can improve function through consistent respiratory exercise. The exercises work by creating beneficial stress on respiratory muscles and tissues, triggering adaptation and strengthening responses. Physical therapists report that patients who maintain these exercises long-term continue to see improvements even after years of practice, with some effectively reversing a decade or more of decline. Here's something that will shock you. Research comparing lung function in active elderly people to sedentary younger people found that physically active 70-year-olds often had better lung capacity than sedentary 50-year-olds. This proves that lung decline is more about disuse than aging itself, and it can be reversed through proper exercise regardless of your current age or condition. Your lungs have stem cells that can regenerate tissue when activated by the mechanical stress these exercises provide. You're not just strengthening muscles, you're literally triggering cellular regeneration. When you improve your lung function through these exercises, everything changes. You stop feeling limited by your breathing. Activities become enjoyable again instead of exhausting. People report feeling more confident, more energetic, and more optimistic about aging when they discover their lungs can actually get stronger instead of weaker. The psychological freedom that comes from breathing easily affects your entire quality of life. We've covered 5 proven exercises that rejuvenate your lungs naturally. Diaphragmatic breathing with resistance to strengthen your primary breathing muscle. Breath stacking to expand capacity. Pursed lip breathing with arm raises for efficiency. Straw breathing for expiratory strength. Lateral chest expansion for intercostal muscle power. Together, these exercises provide complete respiratory muscle training that can reverse years of decline. The question isn't whether these exercises work. Clinical research and thousands of success stories prove they do. The question is whether you're going to start today or continue accepting preventable decline. Every day without proper respiratory exercise is another day of weakening muscles and decreasing capacity. Here's what you need to do right now. Choose one exercise and do it today. Tomorrow, add another. Build the habit of doing all 5 exercises twice daily. Track how your breathing improves over weeks. Most people notice real differences within 2 to 3 weeks. Your lungs are waiting for this stimulus to trigger their regeneration. These 5 exercises could restore the breathing capacity you thought was lost forever. The transformation starts with your first intentional breath today. Make the choice now to rejuvenate your lungs naturally.